pineapple dessert I learned from an American chef. To start today's recipe, let's put 7 pieces of pineapple into a pan. I'm sure you'll be surprised with the final result of this dessert. Next, let's put a 1/4 cup of pineapple gelatin in a bowl, and also 1 cup of hot water. I'll mix everything well. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Emily Carter from Boston. I'm so glad you're enjoying our recipes. Now I'll add 1 cup of room temperature water. Let's mix again. With just a few everyday ingredients, we can make a dessert much tastier than those sold in traditional restaurants. I make it almost every week. It was the owner of a 5-star restaurant in the US who taught me this recipe. Once our mixture reaches the right consistency, we'll pour it over the pineapple slices we added to the pan earlier. I'll place it in the fridge for about an hour. In a blender, I'll put another 1/4 cup of pineapple gelatin and also 1 cup of hot water. I have no doubt it will become part of your routine, just like it became part of mine. It's very easy to prepare, no reason not to try. I'll add 2 cups of heavy cream. This is the secret to get the perfect consistency, making the dessert creamy and delicious. When I make it at home, there's never anything left. It's simply impossible to eat just 1 piece. After mixing everything very well, we'll pour our mixture with heavy cream over everything. Look how beautiful it's turning out. We'll place it in the fridge for another 90 minutes. With the help of a tray or large plate, we'll remove our recipe from the pan. Besides being beautiful, it also tastes amazing. This is one of the top-selling desserts during hot days in the US. Almost every place has its own version. Try making it to share with your family. I'm sure everyone will love it and even ask where you learned it. If you're someone who, like me, loves refreshing fruit desserts, I'm sure you won't stop making it. If you don't believe me, try it and then come back to tell me your experience. I'd love to know. This secret recipe is 79 years old, and I'm about to reveal it now. To start our recipe, let's add 1/2 cup of olive oil to a pan. We also add 2 tablespoons of butter. Let's melt the butter and fry it really well in this delicious oil. Next, we add 3 cloves of garlic, and right after that, I place 3 chicken breasts with shallow cuts. After a few minutes searing those breasts well, we flip them to make sure they get evenly golden on both sides. Now let's set the chicken breasts aside. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Cameron Hayes from Glendale, Arizona. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. I'm going to mash those cloves of garlic to bring out that amazing flavor. Now we add 1/2 an onion, finely chopped into small cubes. Let's saute everything really well. Then we add 1/2 cup of chicken broth. We mix everything thoroughly, and now I add 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Let's stir it all together. Then we add 1 cup of heavy cream. Let's cook all those ingredients very well. Now I add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and stir everything again. I'm going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes. Now, for a delicious citrus flavor, I squeeze in 1 lime. I also add parsley to taste. This recipe has 79 years of history, and when I learned it, it was just out of curiosity. I tried it once without expecting much, and I've been making it ever since. The smell fills the kitchen, and the look is amazing. It works because it's simple, straightforward, and made to win people over on the first try. Let's let that cook for about 15 minutes. This preparation became a part of my routine from the first time I made it. No effort, no secrets, just followed the steps calmly and let things happen. The aroma filled the kitchen, and when I served it, the look was so impressive even the quiet ones had something to say. There's something about this combo that just works. It doesn't require much, but delivers like it does. That's why I keep making it. It's practical, direct, and always hits the mark. Try it and let me know how it goes. I love recipes like this, simple to prepare, but with that little twist that surprises everyone who tastes it.
I've never had such tasty tomatoes. I'm going to show you how to cook them. So we're going to start by adding 1 tablespoon of margarine to a pan. Let that melt. We're now going to add some slices of tomato right on top of that melted margarine. Now you can add as many tomato slices as will fit in your pan. I've sliced 2 tomatoes here. And we're just going to let these cook until they get nice and soft. I love this recipe so much. We're going to fry these tomatoes at a nice low temperature. And then once they become soft, we're going to turn each slice over so we can cook the other side. And again, we're just going to leave these on a low heat to cook. Let's leave these to fry and we're going to continue with our recipe. Now we want to be careful not to burn these tomatoes either. Oh, my kitchen smells so good. All right, let's prepare the eggs for the next step in our recipe. So I've got a bowl here. I'm going to add 3 eggs. Some salt for seasoning. I'm also going to add in some parsley. Now you add as much parsley as you like. And let's mix this well. Looking good. We're now going to add this egg mixture right on top of those tomatoes we're cooking. Delicious. We're now going to add some chopped ham. Now, you're welcome to use chopped ham for this part. If you like chicken or bacon, that would be great here too, whatever you prefer, but I just prefer to add ham. Spread that ham all over the eggs. And the ham really does give our recipe a super special flavor. Let's go ahead and cover this and let it cook for a few minutes. And our recipe is almost ready. We can't forget about the most delicious ingredient, which is cheese. Now, I prefer adding mozzarella. I find mozzarella the tastiest, but you can add whatever cheese you like. I love this recipe. It is so delicious. And my kids love this egg recipe too. It's such a winner. All right, we've got our sliced cheese on top. We're going to add some oregano and just put a cover on that and let the cheese get nice and melted. All right, our cheese is melted. This looks absolutely incredible. Look how beautiful this is. All that's left to do now is serve it on a plate and call your family over so they can enjoy this with you. My mouth is watering so much now. This is a delicious, juicy egg recipe. Let's give it a taste. Incredible. Bon appetit.
I discovered the recipe for this stuffed chicken. Now I make it twice a week. It's incredible. There's no way to resist it. It's quick and easy. Let's start our recipe by cutting 2 chicken breasts, opening them in half like this. If you like easy recipes like this, click the like button and comment below. I love easy recipes. Once this is done, we will season with salt to taste, black pepper to taste, paprika to taste, and oregano to taste. Then add olive oil. Spread the seasoning all over the chicken to combine. Tell me in the comments how you prepare chicken at home. I would love to know your recipe. Now we will need a 200-gram piece of cheese. Cut into slices like this. And set aside. We will also need a tomato, cut into thin slices. Are you looking for that Sunday lunch recipe? This stuffed chicken will surprise everyone. Now set the tomato aside. Then we'll stuff the chicken with the cheese we just cut. And if you're enjoying our recipes, leave us a comment below from which city you're watching us from. I want to send you a big hug and thank you for sharing this recipe. Now add the tomato slices on top of the cheese. Then we will close it covering all the filling. Next, I will make a superficial cut over each chicken breast. And it will stay that way. If you don't like chicken, it's because you've never eaten it prepared like this. It's incredibly delicious. Once this is done, we will also season the top with salt, black pepper to taste, paprika to taste, oregano to taste, and olive oil to taste. Spread the seasoning all over the chicken to combine the cuts we made. And look how beautiful our chicken is turning out. Now set the chicken aside. Then, in a baking dish, we will add a little olive oil. Spread the olive oil all over the bottom of the dish. Then, add the chicken breasts inside. Then put it in the oven at a temperature of 200 degrees for 50 minutes. And our recipe is ready. Look how delicious our chicken turned out. This was the best stuffed chicken I've ever made. It's juicy and tasty. If you've made it this far, leave a rating from 0 to 10 on how you rate this recipe. I really hope you liked it. I'll stay here. A big hug, and until the next recipe.
Okay guys, add 6 egg yolks and cover with a bowl. Now place the egg yolks in the center of the pan with the heat on low. While heating, butter the side of the pan. Spread a lot of butter until melted. Now add the whites of the 6 eggs. Put around. Now with a small fouet, beat the eggs white. Whip until nice and white. This is what it should look like, whipping over low heat. And just continue whisking and mixing. Okay, now add the spices. Parsley. Add black pepper. And spread well, don't put too much. Add salt. Add cheese. You can use whatever cheese you prefer. I'm using mozzarella cheese. And I'm adding this more yellow cheese just to make the recipe a little prettier. Now add a few drops of ketchup and add some space between them. Now stir in the egg whites well. And you'll see while the yolks cook, the egg whites fry really well. And even if it is soft, just keep stirring. And add more butter. Swirl around the sides of the pan. And the margarine should drain. I'm cooking on low heat. Now let's remove the bowl because the yolks have already cooked. Make sure to use a cloth so you don't burn yourself. Now look at the yolks. Turn off the heat and release the yolks. Separate the yolks and mix with the egg whites. It's a different omelet. This is how it should look. Shall we try it? Wow, the yolks stay whole. It's very good. And some great different flavors.
Blend condensed milk with peaches and you'll thank me for the results. It's so delicious that I make it every weekend. The kids will love this recipe. We'll start by kneading a can of peaches. Then, drain the canned peaches through a sieve. Once done, add all the peaches to the blender. Then, cover and blend for 2 minutes until everything is well blended. And if you like easy recipes like this, click the like button and comment below. I love easy recipes. Okay, now I've added all this liquid to a large bowl. Now we'll add a 395-gram can of condensed milk. Once done, mix everything well until combined. If you want to save money, you need to make this recipe. It's perfect for the weekend and the kids will love it. Now set aside. Then, in another bowl, we'll add 2 boxes of whipped cream. Each box contains 200 grams. The whipped cream here needs to be chilled. Now, using a mixer, beat everything well until doubled in volume. This is the perfect point. Now add all the peach mixture and mix. This is one of those recipes that will win praise from your whole family and is a must-have for your weekend. Perfect for summer. Now mix everything well until it reaches this consistency. Look how perfect it is. Set it aside and then we'll chop half a chocolate bar. Here, I'll remove about 200 grams of chocolate shavings. Now I'll add everything here and mix. And if you're enjoying our recipes, leave a comment below which city or country you're watching from. I want to send you a big hug and thank you for sharing this recipe. Now let's add all this mixture to a bowl. Just look at the creaminess, the texture of this recipe. This peach ice cream is wonderful. You can't resist. Your family will love this recipe. Now mix it in the bowl, then put it in the freezer overnight. And our recipe is ready. Look how wonderful, perfect it turned out. You can now remove and serve. Look how much it makes, how easy it is, how economical it is, and how delicious it is. The kids will love this recipe, and if you've made it this far, please rate it from 0 to 10. What would you rate this recipe? I really hope you enjoyed it. Now I'll leave it at that. Best regards, and see you in the next recipe. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make bakery-style donuts. This recipe is perfect for breakfast. It's quick, easy, and incredibly delicious. Just look how soft and fluffy they are. Let's start our recipe by adding 3 tablespoons of sugar to the bowl. Next, add 10 grams of dry yeast. Then, add 1 cup of warm milk. Remember that my cup is 240 milliliters. Once that's done, mix everything very well to hydrate the yeast. Add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and mix. And if you like easy recipes like this, click the like button and comment below. I love easy recipes. Now let's add 3½ cups of wheat flour. Add the wheat flour little by little and mix. And if you're enjoying our recipes, leave a comment below telling us what city or country you're watching from. I want to send you a big hug and thank you for sharing this recipe. Still in the bowl, knead this dough for 10 minutes. This is the ideal consistency of the dough. Look how soft and fluffy it is. Now cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for 30 minutes. After the dough has doubled in size, remove the air from the dough and transfer it to the work surface. Add a little wheat flour before placing the dough to prevent sticking. Now, roll out the dough to the thickness of a finger, not too thick and not too thin. You will need a dough cutter. The one I'm using is 9 centimeters in diameter. Cut it like this. Now, using a piping bag, remove the center part like this. And look how perfect it is. If possible, let the dough rest for 10 minutes. Here, I'm going to let the dough rest on a floured surface to prevent sticking. Then, fry the little balls in hot oil. After frying one side, turn them over to fry the other side. And look how perfect and wonderful they are turning out. If you like recipes like this, save it so you don't lose it. Now just remove them and place them on a plate lined with paper towels. You won't need to spend money at the bakery anymore after this recipe. And our recipe is ready. Just look how wonderful it is. And if you've made it this far, rate it from 0 to 10. What score would you give this recipe? Now just roll them all in sugar and then serve. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll be signing off now. A big hug, and see you in the next recipe.
When I cook broccoli like this, everyone asks me for the recipe. To start today's recipe, I'm going to slice a broccoli into very small pieces. After that, I'll slice those pieces again into even smaller pieces. Now I'll transfer the broccoli to a large bowl. Next, I'll add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of chili flakes, 50 grams of Parmesan, 2 eggs, and I'll mix the ingredients very well. Once it's ready, I'll transfer the mixture to a pan already greased with olive oil. I'll spread it out evenly in the pan to cook everything equally. Then, I'll cover the pan to let it cook for 10 minutes. After that time, I'll use a plate to flip the recipe over to the other side. It might seem like a difficult recipe to prepare, but it's incredibly easy to make. I'll add 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce on top of the dish. And I'll spread it all over. After that, I'll add some mozzarella on top to taste. The texture the mozzarella gives to this recipe is amazing. I'll add slices of a tomato on top. Also, I'll add some bacon to taste. I love recipes with bacon. It goes well with any meal. I'll sprinkle some oregano on top of the dish. Then I'll cover the pan again and let it cook for another 5 minutes. After that time, it's ready. Now it's time to transfer it to the final plate, slice it up, and enjoy today's meal. Look how beautiful this recipe turned out. I can't wait to enjoy it. Make it at home and let me know how it turned out. I'd love to hear that you made it and enjoyed it too. I hope you like this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
When I cook chicken with pasta like this, everyone asks me for the recipe. To start, we're going to slice 2 chicken breasts into strips and then into cubes just like this. If you follow this step properly, there's no mistake. The recipe will turn out perfect. Right after that, I'm going to add a drizzle of olive oil to the skillet, spreading it across the bottom. Next, we'll add the chicken cubes to fry. I'll stir for a few minutes until they get lightly golden. Now, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of oregano, and we'll keep sautéing. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching me from so I can send you a special shout-out. Today's shout-out goes to Daniel Harris from Boulder, Colorado. I'm really happy that you're enjoying our recipes. Next, in a pot, I'm going to pour hot water until it fills halfway. Then, we're going to add 250 grams of pasta, and we'll let it boil for a few minutes. Trust me, the result is amazing. At this point, we're going to remove the chicken from the pan and place it into a bowl. Tell me what you're thinking of the recipe so far. I'd love to know. In the same pot, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter, and we'll stir until it melts. Next, I'll add 1 onion chopped, 3 cloves of garlic minced, 200 grams of champignon mushroom, and we'll start sautéing. I love recipes like this. Simple, but with a different touch. Right after that, I'm going to stir the pasta with a fork, and once it's cooked, we'll remove it from the heat. Now, into the sautéed mixture, I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. Then we'll also add half a cup of milk. I'll mix everything to combine. We'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. It's turning out exactly how I wanted. Next, I'm going to add the cooked and drained pasta. I'll mix well until everything is incorporated. Then, we'll add the fried chicken we set aside earlier. We'll stir a little more until the mixture becomes smooth and uniform. You're going to be surprised by the result of this recipe. The flavor turns out incredible. Right after that, I'm going to add grated Parmesan to taste, spreading it on top. Now, we're going to take portions of this delicious meal with chicken and pasta, and I'll place them on a plate. I love recipes like this because they deliver exactly what they promise. They don't require complicated steps. They don't need difficult ingredients, and even so, they stand out for the final result. The smell and flavor are amazing. I've made it several times, and all my friends and my family love it. Make it at home too, and tell me what you think.